I hate to do this. One of my favorite writers, Jonathan Haidt, he's a psychologist, social psychologist, sociologist, professor, writer. He wrote a viral essay on The Atlantic called Why the Last 10 Years have Made Americans Uniquely Stupid. And I love Jonathan Haidt. Disagree with him. I want to give you some of my objections to his essay. Why the internet, which is what his blame is, his accusation is that the internet, social media over the last 10 years has made us uniquely stupid. You know, algorithms encourage, for example, extreme behavior. So if you're a watch guy, the more extreme your behavior is on the internet, the more you'll be rewarded. So there's this sort of motivation. That's one point he makes. We all live in our information silos. We all are engaged in tribalism. We've lost our minds in tribalism, the need to belong. You've heard all this before. You saw it on The Social Dilemma on Netflix. We've lost our minds. I disagree with him. I think you don't have a social media problem. You have a you problem. And let me explain this. If you're not going outside and you're on the internet all day and you're reading conspiracy theories, or you're looking at, you're arguing on watch forums until your brain turns to mush, you're eating Hot Pockets, you're eating Pop-Tarts, you haven't seen a human being in a month, you haven't changed your pajamas in like 3 months, you don't have an internet problem, you have a YouTube problem. And the problem is this: you don't have an inner adult. You need a voice inside you that says enough is enough. If you watch Charlie the Chocolate Factory, all those kids get sucked into the chocolate pump because they didn't have an adult in their head to say enough is enough. The kid who wins the trip to the elevator and gets to take over the factory, he had an inner adult. If I buy a Tudor Black Bay and I still feel empty, and then I buy an Omega Planet Ocean, I feel full for a while, and I feel empty again, and now I want a Grand Seiko, eventually the inner adult has to kick in and say, maybe you're going around, you're looking for the wrong way to fill in the vacuum. Maybe you need to find a new approach. So I disagree with Jonathan Haidt's his very premise that stupidity has been, we can place it at the feet of social media. Now, he goes on to say that depression has skyrocketed in the last 10 years, especially among teens. And I don't think we can put the whole blame on social media for that either. The theory is this: you're on social media, you're looking at rich people, beautiful people, skinny people on their weight loss journeys. You know, I'm watching millionaires smoke cigars, wearing Rolex Daytona on private jets. And this is supposed to be the cause of my depression. You know, my answer is, so what? So what that there's rich, beautiful people on Instagram? That's not going to be the cause of my depression. The cause of depression is much deeper than that. It has to do with meaning of life, having a sense of belonging, having a sense of life work that gives you a purpose, that gives you some validation from people. If you don't have that kind of life purpose, you're going to be depressed whether or not you're on Instagram looking at skinny, beautiful, rich people. I'm going to be depressed regardless if I see rich dudes smoking a cigar and wearing a Rolex Daytona or not. So I want to get that one out of the way. The second thing he says is we become addicted to dopamine from likes and reposts. And the theory is this: when likes and reposts were invented around 2009, by 2012 all the social media platforms were using it. I think Facebook was the first one to use it. We became addicted to this dopamine because it gave us a sense of popularity, validation with people. And I say no. I think we've always wanted to have a sense of validation and popularity with people. We've always wanted belonging before the likes and the reposts. I'll agree that we did get a little addicted to this dopamine buzz, but that's not a big deal. This dopamine buzz thing is in the realm of social media is pretty new. It's a pretty new thing. It's going to wear off, man. If you get an Omega Planet Ocean, yeah, you're going to get some dopamine buzz. You're going to get some honeymoon phase off of it. But eventually it's going to wear off. I think social media pretty soon is going to be old hat. You're not going to get the big dopamine buzz off of it. You know, remember when your uncle would send jokes on email to everyone in his family and every friend? I think social media eventually is just going to be email, you know? You're going to post something on social media and people are going to go, that's so 2002, dude. I think it's just going to get old, just like everything else. And then people are going to find a way to lose their mind anyway, because I don't think social media is the root cause of it. You don't have a social media problem, you have a you problem. I don't think the likes and the reposts are going to ruin your life as much as Jonathan Haidt says they will. Here's the other thing he says. He says you're being manipulated. There's a few tech lords behind the screen of your social media platform, and they found ways to get you addicted. They hire casino consultants from Las Vegas who are experts in getting you addicted. And I'm looking at this and I'm saying to myself, yeah, there's probably 90% of people using social media are getting manipulated, they're getting brainwashed, or doing it wrong. And I say, so what? That's true of everything in life. Everything in life has about 90% of people doing things wrong. I'll give you an example. Go to the gym right now. Go to any gym in America or anywhere and watch the people work out. 90% of the people working out are doing it wrong. Just like 90% of the people on social media platforms are doing it wrong. Look at people who are going on a diet. They're doing it wrong. Look at people who are new to the watch hobby. They're doing it wrong. I did it wrong, man. I was buying oversized clocks for my wrist that make like a circus clown. I look like a circus clown. I was doing it wrong. 90% of everything is crud. That's Sturgeon's law. Just because 90% of people can't do something right, use social media right, go to the gym and do that right, go on a diet right, read a book the right way, doesn't mean the other 10% should back off. The 10% are always going to spread their wings and fly. They're going to be the glorious eagles. What kind of rhetoric is that, man? The glorious eagles. So yeah, anyways, 90% of you are going to be manipulated to some degree. And you know what? You were manipulated before that. You lost your minds before the internet. Let me tell you, in the early 90s, I got a job. My first full-time college teaching job was in the desert of California. I was all alone, man. And I would watch the Angels play baseball. And who were the announcers? Reggie Jackson and Joe Torre. And when the Angels weren't playing baseball, I had cable TV. I'd watch this woman with a buzz cut. Her name was Susan Powder. She did infomercials for weight loss. She was crazy. She said, "Stop the insanity." And she would boil 2 tons of lentils. And I'm thinking, yeah, man, if I ate 2 tons of lentils, I'd lose weight too, because my stomach would be upset for like 5 years. That's why. And people lost their mind before the internet watching Susan Powder, who, by the way, went bankrupt in 1995, moved to an earth house in New Mexico, and now has since moved to Las Vegas. I want to watch a movie about Susan Powder. People are losing their minds long before the internet. Okay. The other thing is, I don't even believe that being stupid on social media is a big deal. Here's my take on being stupid in social media. Social media is a relatively new thing. We haven't even adapted to it yet. And so when I see something new and disruptive that makes us, as Jonathan Haidt says, uniquely stupid, I say, so what? Anything in your life that's new is going to create a challenge for you to adapt to it, and it's going to make you uniquely stupid. I'll give you an example. I recently bought a new camera, a Nikon Z30, and I'm trying to figure it out, and I feel uniquely stupid. But here's the thing. Eventually, I'm going to figure it out, and I'm going to be smarter in the long run. You can't take away the new technology of the Nikon Z30 and go back to some easier camera technology so you won't feel uniquely stupid. If you're a kid taking calculus, the first few weeks you're going to feel uniquely stupid, but you adapt to it and you conquer it. The very point of human growth is to challenge ourselves with new things. And there is going to become a uniquely stupid period. Think of the Gutenberg press. We had religious wars, man. We didn't know how to adapt to having publications of religious treatises and polemics and arguments. We didn't know how to deal with that. We don't know what we're doing with social media yet. We're in the infant stage, man. And of course we feel uniquely stupid. Being uniquely stupid is part of the learning curve. It's part of growing and getting stronger. You don't think I felt uniquely stupid when I first started working out when I was 12 years old, trying to do the Olympic weight lift, trying to do the snatch in the correct form, trying to do the clean and jerk. Everything you do that's of significance in your life, you're going to have that initial phase of being uniquely stupid. So, I love Jonathan Haidt. He always writes thought-provoking essays. I completely reject his essay. Why? The last 10 years have made Americans uniquely stupid. Ladies and gentlemen, let me know what you think about this topic. To conclude, I don't think we have a social media problem. I think we have a we problem. All right, ladies and gentlemen, until next time, I'm out.